Hey guys, welcome back to more AFK Arena. In today's video, we have a really nice post about Stargaze hero usage in AFK Arena. Now, before we go through anything, I want you guys to do me a favor. Jump over to this Reddit post. I'll leave a link in the description. Show it some love. Also, this is done by Part-Time Cuba on that's the Reddit username, but it's AFKMP. They have a YouTube channel as well over here. I'll leave a link to this as well, so show some support. Go ahead, sub up, take a look at the other videos they got to offer over there as well. But AFKMP, massive shout out. Go show some support to the community. It's fantastic. Now, the first thing I want to go through before we go into it is I always like reading the notes from the creator to see what we've got. Okay, take two at reading this one because you guys know I suck at reading. Hello everyone. Since the release of The Boy and the Girl, aka Liberta and Lucilla, I have decided to track the usage of Cell Hypo heroes in Treasure Scramble, Cursed Realm, and Nightmare Corridor. Once again, I want to reiterate that this is not a guide. This is just statistics on usage. So we will talk about more of the stuff when I go look at it. But this one is not a guide. This is just statistics on usage is what we're looking at. Why only these three game modes? Well, basically, these three game modes provide a good rewards on a weekly basis for our accounts progression. My sources are from the AFK Arena crowdsource and AFK Analytica Discord servers. Those are two servers that have, more competitive type. Well, it's not competitive, but more hardcore type players putting in a lot of data into them. I'll leave links to Discords in the description if you guys want to check that out. Since a lot of people are sharing their lineups or team compositions in each game mode. This is not the typical guide. Once again, this is just repeating that point. This is not the typical guide since it's basically just the data of hero usage in each game mode. However, we can still safely say that the reason why these heroes have high usage in each game mode is because they are good/great in the said game mode. Normally that makes sense. I completely agree with that statement. I also tried to check some of the hero roles, i.e. as DPS, sub DPS in each game mode, if it's available/possible. I also would like to thank Cero. So massive shout out to Cero. Just going off a little tangent here. Dude has basically run my Discord. If you're in my Discord, you know that Cero is basically runs that Discord. It's basically his Discord, but hey, I'm still keeping the name ownership. But he also made the crowdsource one. Cero does a ton for the community. A massive shout out to the dude. I'm going to try and get him on in the next week or so. I was planning to tee it up for this week, but I had my missus' birthday, my daughter's party, all that shit going on. But I'm going to try and catch up with Cero for a nice chat, like meta type chat, like I used to do with Artie and stuff like that. And I might try and do more of these with different people in the community. If you guys have any recommendations as well, so we'll see if we can tee that up soon. But once again, I just saw the shout out to Cero and I want to reiterate that does great things. Massive shout out, been a huge help to me. So massive thank you to you, Cero. Also, I still don't know if I'm saying Cero right, so apologies if I'm still getting that wrong because I suck at names. Thanks to him for his patience, his support, patience, and advice. He provided valuable info regarding some of the heroes on the list. Without any further ado, I present to you the final output of my research. Hope this will help you decide on which heroes to prioritize when stargazing. Additional notes, heroes that can be bought via store will take a lot of time to build. If you think it's about time to start gazing them, then go ahead. That's what I'm going to do personally, but probably after gazing those mid to high end. Okay, so I think the TLDR, dude, I was just butchering reading that. I think the TLDR of that is it takes so long to completely build the character from the store that if you're up to them on your priority list, just gaze for them anyway, because you building them solely from the store is going to take forever, is what I understood out of that. Forgot to include that Ulna needs her 9 furniture. Yes, I agree. When I say that all game modes, I am referring to Treasure Scramble, Nightmare Corridor. I always see NC, and I think about something from WoW or something. When I go to say it, I'm like the Nightmare Corridor and Cursed Realm only. Basically, campaign is a forgotten mode once you get dual divinity. I stop caring about campaign essentially. So keep in mind when we look at Lucretia and stuff like that, the campaign usage and tower usage isn't included when we're looking at this. This is just data for Treasure Scramble, Nightmare Corridor, and Cursed Realm. That's it. And then sources, once again, AFK Arena crowdsourcing and AFK Analytical and Analytica. And once again, feel free to visit my YouTube channel. Once again, go show some love and some support. So with all that out of the way, let's take a look at the post, because I really like these things where it's more data instead of, go for this hero. It's just like you can look at the raw data and make your decisions. So previously, before the Cell Hypo twins, the Liberta and Lucilla came out, it was the widest use we were seeing was definitely from Shakira and Chad. Sorry, I know people hate it when I use names, but I can't help it. Chad is Vathale. Shakira is dude, I always forget Shakira's name because I just think the hips and I can't do anymore. Damia, that's right, dude. It's like, don't ask me. I'm a horrible person like that. I just can't help. Once I make a nickname for something, I just stick to it. But those are the two that we were looking at as being your primary options. But Liberta just came in and absolutely slapped it. Now, I'm still a bit salty on Liberta being the good one because I really wanted Lucilla to be the best one. Unfortunately, it turned out to be Liberta. Lucilla's just too cool in my opinion. But these three definitely just dominate everywhere. Liberta's like just viability. I really want to test a new game account and like stargaze for Liberta off the bat and see if Liberta can be as good in campaign as what we get out of Lucretia from back in the day. But we'll have to wait and see. But these three definitely seeing huge usage in these game modes. Buffing, and damage are the main realms that we're looking at them in. But this one does get rolled sub DPS, sometimes used in main DPS in Nightmare Corridor as well. And then role support, sometimes used as DPS in Treasure Scramble. This one especially, main DPS, especially Cursed Realm and Nightmare Corridor. So there we go. Just these three just have amazing kits just all around in general, and we've been seeing a lot of use of them. And like I said, I was amazed at Liberta's usage. But this is when we get into the interesting section of the next realm of characters. Once again, Twins and Mortis. The great thing about Twins and Mortis as well is you can definitely get usage out of them at lower copies, which is fantastic. Then we go on to Halus. Halus feels like I feel like there was a period there where Halus was like the bee's knees for a little bit, like in supportiveness. But he has dropped off. He's still really good in campaign. I still love him in campaign. Same with Kanissa and Rook. I think this is a great character as well. But the good one to see is that Lucilla is still getting some decent amount of usage. Now, if you're looking at this, wondering what the ticks mean, the ticks legend is down here. 90 to 100% usage, 70 to 90, 50 to 70, 50 to just under, less than 70. I guess that's 50 to 69 is what, I'm just reading it wrong because I'm stupid. You guys get the gist. So that is that. So these are the two main windows of characters that you look to. Then we drop down and it's super interesting to see that we've got... sorry, I just couldn't speak for a sec. We've got Ulna down here all the way down in the midsection. But keep in mind, Ulna... And then down right the bottom here, Lucretia, their main focus, except for Ulna in Treasure Scramble, which she's an absolute savage in, their main focus has always been that campaign type pushing thing. So when you've got that's where you got to keep in mind, this doesn't consider campaign at all. So because, like I said, campaign's just such a lower priority in the end game, it's still a big priority in the early game. But it's like now we've had this discussion. I made a video about it probably 2 months ago or something, talking about Lucretia dropping off because it's just not the priority game mode at the moment. You get more overall resources from focusing on the other modes, and that's why she's dropping off. So maybe I'll do another video in the future talking about like my personal priorities. I've had a lot of chats with people about stargazing priority recently, getting different opinions, and it is quite varied, the opinions that I see from people on what the stargazing priority should be. Whether you go Liberta first and pick up a Lucilla, so you got a Hypergene as well, or whether you skip that and you go these top three, because if you go these top three, then you might then you end up with 3 Celestials and you don't have anything to push the Hypergene tower if you're in a new account. But then there's still the field of some people still swear by Lucretia because you want to get that early progression. However, the stargazing income isn't that great, and if you don't have godly rates, Lucretia's you're gonna like be past her usage window by the time you get her. If you could guarantee godly rates, then she got more viability. And then there's a whole conversation around Ulna and whether it's worth picking up Ulna because you do still get that Treasure Scramble usage, and she's so key in campaign formations and stuff like that. So honestly, I see a lot of different discussion around it. And then you've also got obviously the discussion of, do you pick up a single copy of Twins? Do you pick up a single copy of Mortis? Do you pick up a single copy of, where is she? Where's Mahira? Mahira, did Mahira not get on the sheet? Okay, I don't know where Mahira's gone. Am I blind? I'm surely not blind. Anyway, you got the single copy of Mahira, which is one that's not on here. I'm not too sure on that one. I'll leave it in the pinned comment if I do find out why. But yeah, there's a lot of discussion on priorities. For me, I definitely think if you're going for Liberta, it's a solid option. Obviously, it's a new character. But in general, I feel like Liberta is a really solid first option for new accounts. And if you've got a progressed account, I still think Liberta is a fantastic option to go for because you can get use out of Liberta just about everywhere. So just an all-round fantastic unit. And for newer accounts, you kind of want that unit that's going to deal some damage as well. So Liberta is fantastic. And then, yeah, like I said, past that, I'm not too sure anymore. In my personal thoughts, like I'd have to run through an account and get a feel for it. But yeah, that's what we're looking at. Really interesting. I like seeing these database ones. Obviously, the data is never 100% because you're not looking at every account in the game, but when you're looking at the two main community discords and what people are posting and the most competitive type communities out there, you do get to get a good representation of what is being used. Also, you can track ladders and stuff like that, so I feel like this is a pretty good representation of the characters in general. But you guys let me know what you think. Once again, massive shout out to AFK MP. Jump over there, show some love, show some support. Always great to see people still making content for the game, considering we're over 4 years into it. Absolutely love it. So as always, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you have an awesome day, and I look forward to seeing the next one. Cheers.